1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Now you might ask, how does zucchini fit into all this? Well, Central and South Americans have been eating that prolific melon for thousands of years. It was Christopher Columbus himself that brought the seeds back to Italy and introduced Italian squash, or zucchini. Today, its popularity is due large in part to its versatility as a vegetable, as well as in breads, desserts, and pasta. And that brings us to today's offering with a West Coast touch. Sautéed spot prawns with zucchini pasta, preserved lemons, fresh parsley, and cherry tomatoes. I'm Garret Schack, and today that's what we're cooking on the coast. From Central America to Italy to North America, today zucchini is the star. On the menu is sautéed spot prawns and zucchini pasta, preserved lemon, fresh parsley, and cherry tomatoes. Let's get started. I'm really excited about today's recipe and excited to be here for another season of Cooking on the Coast. We need to start with something that every great chef should have in the back of their fridge. Of course, you're thinking condiments like ketchup or mustard. Not today. I'm going to show you how to make preserved lemons. Really simple recipe, takes about a month of sitting in your fridge, but it's definitely worth it once you've got them done. First thing we need to do, just cut this little stem end off our lemons, and then we're going to dip them just for a few seconds into some boiling water here. As it comes up, let them go. Do a few more. Probably like six or seven lemons will fit into this jar here that we have. The reason we're dumping them in the water here is just to sort of start opening up the pores, kind of let the oils come out of the lemons, get things rolling, get the juices flowing a little bit. It will speed up the process just a touch, but not enough to really worry about it. But we definitely want to not skip this part. Okay, got them in there. Give those a few seconds. In the meantime, a few of the ingredients we need. Coarse sea salt. It's really important to use sea salt. Don't use an iodized salt here. You want to use sea salt. It makes a whole lot of difference in the flavor. We've got peppercorns, star anise, a dried chili from the garden, and we've got some lovely fresh bay leaf. If you ever have the opportunity to use fresh bay leaf, absolutely do it. We need to get these guys out of here, and we'll plot them down on some paper towel here, or a towel, whatever you've got handy. Next thing we want to do is get these guys stuffed full of that salt. So in order to get all the way inside, we want to cut sort of an X in the top of them here. So we're kind of doing just that. And then you can see it sort of opens it up a little bit. And now we want to pack it full of salt. Okay, really get the salt in there. Perfect. Don't be shy with it. And then into our jar. We have a sealable mason jar here. Make sure you got something you can put a seal on. We're not going to worry about preserving as far as like heat and closing the jar because it's going to be shelf stable in the fridge, right? Into the jar it goes. And we're going to continue that process with the rest of these lemons here, or as many as will fit in the jar anyway. Nice big one here. Okay. Again, get that salt all packed in there nice and tight. The salt's going to help start pulling out the moisture of these lemons, really get the juices going. And then plus on top of it, we're going to squish these guys right in there like that. Take out a little frustrations from the day. Now you notice I haven't cut them all the way through. That's on purpose. We definitely want to be able to reach in there and keep nice whole pieces of preserved lemon as we go. As we're going, we're going to start introducing our other ingredients. I've got star anise, whole star anise. Don't want to use powdered herbs or spices here. You definitely want to use the whole stuff. We just want the flavors. We don't want to actually season or have that stuff stick to the lemon when we're done. Peppercorns, we're going to add a little bit of spice with those peppercorns. And then what's any good preserved lemon dish without a little chili pepper and our bay leaf. A couple will do. Add a nice floral note to that. Squish them down a little bit more. Yeah, once we get the lid on that, that'll be great. I'm going to add a little more salt. Now you're thinking, holy smokes, that's a ton of salt in there. Don't worry about it. We're going to rinse these off afterwards, and I'll show you what we do with that in just a little bit here. Now, I want some more lemon juice in these, so I'm going to use one of these lemons that I haven't cut up and just give it a good squeeze. Don't worry about the seeds or anything like that. Just give it a good squeeze. You definitely want some juice to start pouring out, and then we can pack that guy in there too. If you have room and you can get that last lemon in there, why not, you know? Don't want to waste it. There we go. Now you can see I've got, if you can see right there, hopefully you can see that, got lemon juice coming up just about halfway, so that's great. I'm gonna use a little bit of our blanching water here just to top these guys up. Again, with the addition of the little bit of hot liquid here, it's just gonna speed up the process. There we go. Perfect. Now we'll seal the lid. Couple of tricks here. You could set this on your counter, Leave it for a couple of days, kind of turning it, you know, swirling it around every so often, send the kids over to shake it, whatever you need to do. Or you can just pop it right in the fridge. Again, you still want to shake it every now and again, but you pop it right in the fridge and leave it. If you put it in there if you leave it on the counter for a few days or so, it'll just sort of expedite the process. But anyway, that's preserved lemons, 1 month in the fridge, and you'll see how it looks. See, here we go. And through the magic of television and from my fridge at home, preserved lemons all done. We'll get into those in just one quick second. What I'd like to do now is turn over to the zucchini and show you how this spaghetti works. We're not actually putting any pasta into this dish at all. It's all going to be zucchini, so it's completely gluten-free and 100% vegetarian. Well, the zucchini part's pasta would be 100% vegetarian if you wanted to go that route. We've added spot prawns, as you've already heard. Okay, so one of these bad boys, which I'll tell you right now has more potassium in it than a banana. You're just gonna run it over here just like this. So we're gonna make these fine little strings here. And I'll show you what they look like in just one quick second. As we run it over. Now you see I'm turning the zucchini because I don't want to get the seeds. So inside it's a little bit soft, right? Like by all means it's edible, you can definitely eat it. But for today's purposes, if we were to cook the seeds from the inside, it would kind of get all mushy and not be really great in our pasta. So, do that. And you can see here, what does that look like? Now I'm gonna slice up that next zucchini, and we'll be right back later in the show to pull together our spot prawns and zucchini pasta with preserved lemons, fresh parsley, and cherry tomatoes. But first, right after the break, we're getting out of the studio. You'll wanna stick around for that. Doesn't that look cool? It's so awesome. In the great outdoors at beautiful Arbutus RV with the beautiful Rose Little. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Nice to see you today.
Nice to see you again.
So I thought we'd do something different. I mean, there's burgers all over the place and we see them all the time, but they're mostly ground beef usually, right? Mm-hmm. I thought we'd do like a chicken breast burger with some stuff that goes super well with chicken, prosciutto, brie, some tarragon. What do you think?
Sounds delicious.
Sounds delicious?
Yeah,
Does it appeal a little bit to the feminine side too, right? It's not just a bacon cheeseburger that the guys gotta eat, right?
Yeah.
It's a little more delicate, a little more, and lots of flavor in here.
Yeah.
So, first thing I want to touch on is sort of how to cook the chicken breast. Okay? We don't want to overcook it, obviously, because chicken can get very dry. We have a couple pieces that, like the big breast, I've kind of cut them in half, so they've opened them up a little bit, so they cook a little bit quicker. And we just want to drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil here.
Okay.
Okay, we're just going to get, just so it doesn't kind of stick to the grill, and then I'm going to show you how to get the great grill marks on there. Okay, some seasoning, some fresh cracked pepper. There we go. You know what this thing's called?
Salt urn.
Salt urn, very close. Apparently it's called a salt pig.
Oh.
I'm not entirely sure why, but that's what they call it, salt pig. There we go.
Need one in every kitchen.
Right, and it's beautiful coarse salt from right here in Cobble Hill, actually.
Oh, okay.
So we've got a couple pieces on already because we're doing TV here, so we're okay to get a head start. And I just want to show you here how the grill marks turned out. Look at that. Lovely little cross hatches on there.
Okay.
Yeah, right? That's what we're looking for. See the diamond pattern on there?
Yeah.
Almost looks like a commercial, doesn't it? So what we want to do is we're going to take our chicken here, okay, and we're going to lay it down on the grill at sort of a 45-degree angle. Okay, same with this side. And then as we go a little bit later on, we're going to just do a quarter turn.
Right.
And that's going to give us our marks. And then we flip it over and we can do the same thing on the other side.
Okay.
So we're going to give that a few more seconds to cook. I want to get some prosciutto on here. Just fire it right on the grill. We're going to kind of crisp it up a little bit. We're going to have to watch out with this one. We'll want to turn this side of the heat down just a touch. Because see the fat that's in there?
It's awfully thin.
Yeah, and the fat that's in there, it'll start dripping through and we'll end up burning.
All right.
I'm going to put you to work, Rose, I think.
Okay.
Here's a chef's knife.
What am I chopping?
Tomato first, please, and thank you. There you are.
Tomatoes essential for burger.
Is that sharp enough for you?
Oh, it's beautifully sharp. Thank you.
Thank you. You had me nervous there.
There's nothing worse than cutting a tomato with a dull knife.
Now let's make something that I just love with chicken. I think tarragon and chicken go super, super well together. So let me move these out of the way, and then I'll get you to chop up some tarragon while I add some mayonnaise to the jar here.
Okay. Lovely fresh tarragon.
Okay, we're going to take a little bit of our homemade mayonnaise here. tablespoon and a half or so. That's all we really need. And then Rose, I'll get you just to put that tarragon right in there. You know your way around a kitchen, don't you?
I do.
So you're not only your RV specialist, but you can cook too, hey?
It's good to have variations in life.
Absolutely.
Just like in RVing. So we, you might want to have a camper if you have a truck. You might have a fifth wheel, a trailer. Lots of different options.
Wow, that's fantastic. Something for everybody. Okay, so our prosciutto's crisping up nicely. Our chicken, we're going to give another little turn here. And that's going to be almost ready.
So just keep 45ing it.
Just keep 45ing it. Yeah, that 45-degree angle turn. There we go. And then shut our grill again for a quick second. Now, our tarragon mayo is ready to go.
Looks good.
Tarragon, chicken, brie, all these things go super, super well together. We're gonna get the brie on top of our chicken in there because we want that to start to melt a little bit. Just lay, geez, that's a big chunk of brie, hey?
That is.
But it's only one piece.
Be really
it's gonna
gooey
melt all the way.
and
It sure is. Now the buns. Kind of important with a bun, I think. Quite often, I don't know if you've had them, when you have these nice fresh brioche kind of style buns, they tend to fall apart by the time you get through,
Right,
especially if the burger's nice and juicy. So what you want to do is just grill the inside of it, right? So we'll fire that on the grill. Just grill the inside really quickly. In the meantime, I'm going to get these bits of prosciutto off because they're looking great. Do you like prosciutto?
Oh, love it.
The saltiness, so good. Close that really quickly just to let our, let our cheese start to melt.
Okay.
In the meantime, we'll tidy up our workstation here a little bit. And do you mind cutting that bad boy for me? We're gonna do a grilled romaine salad with this as well.
Oh.
Because I mean, what's a burger without a salad, right?
Lovely.
Very nice, very nice.
And then you're just going to put it on the grill, just
You got it,
face
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Baste it with oil, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it in my hand like this because I want to open up the leaves just a little bit. And then we're just gonna kind of brush a little bit of that oil on there.
Okay.
Okay. Not too much. We just want enough to sort of start to get it to kind of char a little bit, okay? There we are. And the same thing on this one. There we go. Now we can pull our buns off. See, it's just toasted a little bit. Because we're using a nice fresh bun, we don't want to overdo it.
Right.
We want to keep that sort of
Just very
nice
lightly.
soft touch, yeah. Do you mind putting a little tarragon mayonnaise on either side of those?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No problem.
Here, be careful. You might find yourself in the kitchen with me here. You're a good sous chef.
Unfortunately, I don't have time to help you in the kitchen.
Oh, geez. Hey, just too busy out here. I understand.
Yeah. 5 locations of RV dealerships keeps us busy.
Yeah, I bet. Holy smokes. Tough to keep track of. All right, now we can put some tomato on this side. Look at those nice, fresh, vine-ripened tomatoes, hey?
Lovely.
Yummy, yummy. Prosciutto. There we are. Let's go grab our chicken. Have a look at our romaine at the same time. Oh, look at that brie starting to melt.
Oh, yeah. How long do you leave the romaine on for?
Just until it starts to color. See, it's starting there already. We're going to
Okay.
move it over to this side. It's a little bit higher heat over here. We'll get our other lovely chicken off. Look at that, right?
Looks perfectly gooey. and
Yummy, yes,
melted.
yes. Close those up if you'd like.
Okay.
I've just made, now this is a caper dressing with, it's got some Parmesan cheese in there, a little vinegar, and some Dijon. Look at that.
Olive oil, too?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, lovely
Yep.
olive oil, the salt and pepper. There we are. Yep, and then we can just give that a little, well, you know what? Let's use this here. And again, just a nice little drizzle over top. Then we got the perfect accompaniment to a delicate, delicious burger.
Well, it's delicious and easier than Caesar salad.
Yeah, right? None of that chopping and mixing stuff, eh?
No,
We just
exactly.
get right to it.
Yeah.
All right, now these are some pretty big mouthfuls.
They are.
I definitely have to have a bite though, Rose. I'll cut it in half for us
Let's
here.
cut it in half for sure.
For sure. Do you want to pick your favorite half?
I'll pick the first side because it's easier.
There you go. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, Rose. Here, should we do this?
Yeah.
The breeze, like
Oh, look, my
gooey
gooey
and-
cheese.
Oh, I know. Don't lose that. Tomato, the tarragon mayo. You put the perfect amount of
I
mayo on
saved
there,
it.
too. Great job.
Delicious.
Thanks so much for having us here, Rose.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Back to our kitchen. We're working with sautéed spot prawns and zucchini pasta. We've got preserved lemons, fresh parsley, and cherry tomatoes. Now let's start pulling this whole dish together here. We've got a sauté pan on. I'm gonna get it nice and hot and add a little olive oil. First thing we're gonna do is get these cherry tomatoes going. Now, as you can see, cherry tomatoes are pretty small. The world's largest tomato, however, weighed in at a massive 3.5 kilos. Can you imagine that size of that tomato? And although these little bad boys here are commonly known as a vegetable, they are, because they come from a flowering plant and have the seeds on the inside, they're kind of considered a fruit. Now we just want to kind of char those up a little bit, get the skins and everything warmed up. And in the meantime, we're going to chop some shallots here. Shallot's a member of the onion family. It's kind of got like a little hint of garlic to it, a little sweetness, but nice and tart, so we like it in our pastas. Add that in with the tomatoes. Fresh garlic. There we go. Into the pan as well. Look at the colors of those tomatoes already, right? Beautiful red, yellow cherry tomatoes. Look gorgeous. At this point, we want to take our zucchini pasta. So there's that zucchini that we sort of zapped all up. Give this pan a little toss here. So you can see those cherry tomatoes are starting to get a little bit of color. You see that? See how it's starting to sort of change in there, starting to get a little roasted? That's exactly what we want. Let's add our zucchini pasta. There we go. Woo, have some fun with it. Beautiful. Okay, there we go. We're gonna leave that sit for just a quick second. I wanna turn our attention to the preserved lemon here. You remember that delicious jar? Pop it open and see what we got here. There we go, drain some of it off on our cutting board, and we'll set this aside. This will last in your fridge, well, it doesn't last very long in my fridge. I gotta keep making them all the time, but you're looking at probably, I don't know, 6 months or so, and you're just fine. The key to this is, because they're quite salty, is we wanna cut the guts out. So we're gonna get rid of all the insides there, and you just run your knife along the base like this. Okay, and there we have it, okay? Now I wanna give it a little rinse, so I've just got a little cold water here. Just dip it in there, just for a couple seconds. Rinses off some of that salt, and then we'll just julienne it up nicely, and then we'll have another look at our pasta here and see how we're doing. Okay, just off to the side. Those chunks are a bit big, so just cut them in half again. And when you get a bite of this preserved lemon, it's gonna add a really unique and interesting flavor. We're talking like salty, sour, really fun. Should get a little bit of heat from those chilies that we had in there. Look how cool that looks, eh? All those colors, green, white. Toss it around a little bit. I got a little white wine here, just to kind of get the things going a little bit. Not too much. Zucchini's gonna sort of drain out a little bit of liquid. Little white wine. And then spot prawns. Spot prawns, Pacific Northwest delicacy. These beauties are amazing. They're a little softer in texture than what most people are used to in like tiger prawns. So you have to just blanch them or just cook them very, very lightly. You'll see you notice I didn't saute them. I'm gonna add them to the pan and just let the heat of the pasta sort of cook it away here. But we're getting really close to the end of this dish, so we're really on track here. Nice toss. Look at all those colors. Oh man, smells so good. It smells just absolutely incredible. Let's get our preserved lemon in there. You could chop it up a little finer, but again, I like to have that nice little bite of this salty, sort of sour lemon flavor. It's really unique, really, really unique. There we go. You see it a lot in like Moroccan cooking and all that kind of stuff, so there we go. Trust me, make that recipe, and when you do, you'll see that you'll be hooked on them. You'll be adding them to all your cuisine. I'm gonna chop up some parsley, nice and coarse. I want nice big pieces in there. Parsley adds a nice freshness to everything. In it goes, last second. A little salt and pepper here. I'm gonna turn off the heat. Look at that. Okay. And then we got some of our sea salt here. Just a hint. Now look at these prawns. Beautifully cooked. Doesn't that look amazing? They're cooked all the way through. Any further than that, and they'll start to go mushy. Right now, they still have a nice crunch to them. Give it a little taste here, and then I'll go to the plate before I eat the whole thing right out of the pan. The zucchini's perfect. I nailed it. You don't want to overcook it. We want to get it out of the pan now and let it cool down, or sort of get it to the table right away. If you let it cook too far, it will definitely go mushy. Mushy, I said, mushy. Here we go. Into the pan. You see I'm twirling it around a little bit. This gives it kind of that fancy, oh, look, I can cook like a chef. Here we go. Put some spot prawns and tomatoes. The skins have started peeling away from the tomatoes, which is exactly what we're looking for. All those prawns in there. Smells incredible. I can smell the lemon coming off of it. Some of that juice. Let's pour some of that in there. I sure hope you guys are getting this on camera because it's not going to last very long around here, I'll tell you that right now. Center it up. Put another little touch of parsley on there. Just the last hint of salt. And there you have it. Sautéed spot prawns and zucchini pasta with preserved lemon, fresh parsley, and cherry tomatoes. I can't wait to dig into this. Now, what better way to try this amazing dish than with a choice beverage? Today with me from Townside Brewing is Michelle. How you doing, Michelle?
I'm good. Thanks for having us.
Oh, thanks for being here. I mean, never say no to the beer, right?
Indeed. I brought a perfect pairing for this dish. This is our Zunga Golden Blonde Ale. It is one of our flagship beers. It was our very first one. Okay. Really delicate flavors, really crisp and bright. Pairs really well with the delicate flavors of a spot prawn.
I figured this would be a tricky one because beer with the light flavors of the zucchini and the spot prawn might be a little challenging, but the Zunga is going to hit the spot, hey?
That's right.
Now, what does Zunga mean exactly?
Well, Zunga is a Powell River term. Townside Brewing is, of course, in Powell River, and Zunga is a Powell River term. Exclusive to Powell River, believe it or not. Now you're going to hear it everywhere, meaning rope swing over water.
There's an actual term for
it's an
rope
actual
swing
term.
over water. Zunga, hey?
Yep, that's it.
Interesting. I'm going to start using that around town. Anytime I want to rope swing over water, I suppose would be the most appropriate time.
Or a great golden blonde ale.
Absolutely. Let's give this a whirl here. Be careful, it might be a little warm. So
all right. I'm going to go right for the spot prawns because we have some beautiful ones on our coast.
I know, aren't we lucky?
Mm-hmm. Mmm. Beautiful.
Oh, man.
Well done. Right off the tongue, crisp, clean, refreshing.
You're absolutely right. And I was worried about this dish with beer because it can be overpowering, but this one is just perfect. Absolutely. I don't know. You ladies at Townside sure do a great job.
Well, thanks, and thanks so much for having us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to continue drinking this if you don't mind.
Cheers.
Check out our website where you'll find more information on today's show and maybe a few surprises. I'm Garret Schack. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to savor the flavor, which I'm going to do right now.